In the heart of a nation grappling with persistent adversity, a moment of profound connection unfolded. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the transitional president of Burkina Faso, stood before an audience unlike any other. These were the families of soldiers who had made the ultimate sacrifice. They were the widows, the orphans, the parents, and the siblings. Each carried the heavy burden of loss. The air was thick with unspoken grief. Yet into this solemn space Captain Traoré offered words intended not merely as condolences, but as a steadfast promise. His address was a beacon of empathy. It sought to reach across the divide of sorrow. The setting itself spoke volumes about the gravity of the occasion. It was a gathering marked by dignity and respect. The families listened intently. Their faces reflected a spectrum of emotions. There was pain, certainly, but also a quiet resilience. Captain Traoré's words were carefully chosen. He acknowledged the immense debt owed to their fallen loved ones. He spoke of their bravery. He recognized the profound emptiness their absence had created. This was not a political speech in the traditional sense. It was a deeply human interaction. It was a leader connecting with his people at their most vulnerable. The emotional resonance of the address was undeniable. Captain Traoré did not shy away from the harsh realities faced by these families. He understood that their lives had been irrevocably altered. To fully appreciate the weight of Captain Traoré's promise, one must understand the context. Burkina Faso has been ensnared in a brutal and protracted struggle. The nation is on the front lines of a battle against Islamist extremism. This conflict has cast a long, dark shadow over the land. For years, communities have lived under the threat of violence. The insurgency, waged by groups affiliated with Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, has inflicted immense suffering. It has torn at the very fabric of society. The fight is relentless and the cost is tragically high. Thousands of lives have been lost. Soldiers, civilians, and volunteers have all fallen victim to the violence. Millions have been displaced from their homes. They have become refugees in their own country. The humanitarian consequences are staggering. Livelihoods have been destroyed. Access to education and healthcare has been severely disrupted in many regions. The very stability of the nation has been under constant assault. This is the harsh reality against which the sacrifices of the fallen soldiers are made. They fight to protect their homeland from this pervasive threat. Captain Traoré himself came to power amidst this turmoil. His leadership emerged from a period of intense instability. The nation had witnessed multiple changes in government. In his address, Captain Ibrahim Traoré articulated a solemn vow. It was a pledge made directly to the widows, orphans, and parents of the fallen heroes. He assured them that their loved ones' sacrifices would not be in vain. He promised that their memory would be honored. This was not a fleeting sentiment. It was a declaration of enduring commitment from the highest level of the state. The captain's words carried the weight of his office. They also conveyed a deep, personal conviction. He sought to offer a measure of comfort. He aimed to provide a pillar of support. The core of his pledge was the assurance of continued remembrance and support. He spoke of the nation's collective duty. This duty was to care for those left behind. He acknowledged the profound void created by their loss. He understood that no words could fully heal such wounds. However, he offered the unwavering support of the nation. This support would manifest in tangible ways. It would also be an emotional and moral anchor. The families needed to feel the embrace of a grateful nation. Captain Traoré's promise was designed to provide precisely that. This vow was particularly significant given the ongoing nature of the conflict. The fight against extremism continues to demand sacrifices. For the families of fallen soldiers, Captain Traoré's pledge resonated with profound significance. These families navigate a landscape of grief that is often isolating. The loss of a loved one in conflict brings a unique set of challenges. Beyond the emotional devastation, there are often practical hardships. The captain's words offered a crucial acknowledgement of their pain. They felt seen, they felt heard. This recognition from the nation's leader was a powerful affirmation. It validated the immense sacrifice their family member had made. It brought a measure of solace. The promise of enduring support was particularly vital. Many of these families face an uncertain future. Widows may struggle to provide for their children. Orphans grow up without a parent. Elderly parents lose a source of support in their old age. Captain Traoré's commitment to stand by them offered a lifeline. It suggested that they would not be abandoned to face these challenges alone. This assurance could alleviate some of the anxieties that compound their grief. It provided a sense of security. It fostered hope for the path ahead, however difficult. Moreover, the vow to honor the memory of the fallen heroes held deep meaning. It ensured that their loved ones' lives and their deaths would not be forgotten. In a society grappling with ongoing conflict, there is a risk that individual sacrifices can become blurred. Captain Traoré's heartfelt promise to the families of fallen soldiers extended its influence far beyond those immediately bereaved. It had a palpable impact on national morale. In a country weary from years of conflict, such gestures of leadership and empathy are crucial. They serve as a reminder of what the nation is fighting for. They reinforce the values of courage, sacrifice, and solidarity. The captain's words resonated with the wider populace. They offered a moment of unity, a sense of togetherness. They provided a focus for collective pride and sorrow. The ongoing struggle against Islamist extremism can take a heavy toll on the national psyche. Constant reports of violence and instability can lead to despondency. However, by publicly honoring the fallen and pledging support to their families, Captain Traoré injected a sense of purpose. He highlighted the bravery of those on the front lines. He underscored the importance of their mission. This can help to galvanize public support for the security forces. It can foster a greater appreciation for the sacrifices being made daily. It strengthens the resolve of the nation. Furthermore, such a public display of compassion from a leader can be deeply reassuring. It demonstrates that those in power are connected to the suffering of their people. The act of remembering is a powerful force. Captain Traoré's emphasis on honoring the sacrifices of fallen soldiers underscores this truth. Ensuring that these sacrifices are not forgotten is vital for several reasons. Firstly, it provides enduring solace to the grieving families. Knowing that their loved one's contribution is etched in the national memory offers a form of immortality. It affirms that their life had profound meaning and impact. This helps families to carry their burden of loss with a sense of pride alongside their sorrow. It is a lasting tribute. Secondly, remembrance serves as a crucial historical record. It educates future generations about the price of peace and security. It tells the story of the nation's struggles and its resilience. Monuments, memorials, and commemorative events all play a role in this. They are tangible reminders of the human cost of conflict. By actively promoting a culture of remembrance, Captain Traoré is helping to shape the collective identity of Burkina Faso. He is ensuring that the lessons of the past inform the future. This is essential for building a stronger society. Moreover, the act of remembering can strengthen national unity. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership style has been shaped significantly by Burkina Faso's ongoing crisis. His address to the families of fallen soldiers offers a clear window into this approach. It reveals a leader who understands the importance of connecting with his people on an emotional level. In times of national trauma, empathy from the top can be a powerful, unifying force. Traoré's willingness to publicly acknowledge pain and offer solace demonstrates a departure from purely militaristic or political posturing. It shows a human touch. His rise to power was itself a response to the escalating security situation. He justified his intervention by citing the previous government's perceived failures in tackling militant violence. This context places immense pressure on his administration to deliver tangible results. However, his engagement with the bereaved families suggests that his strategy is not solely focused on military victories. He appears to recognize that the well-being of the nation also depends on healing its emotional wounds. This holistic view is a key aspect of his leadership. It balances strength with compassion. The decision to extend military rule, while controversial for some, is framed by Traoré and his government as a necessary measure to stabilize the country before a return to civilian governance. His supporters see him as a decisive leader willing to take tough decisions in the nation's interest. His actions, such as nationalizing gold mines and reversing salary increments for officials, have also garnered popular support. These moves are often portrayed as efforts to reclaim sovereignty and fight corruption, resonating with a populace weary of perceived mismanagement. Captain Traoré's heartfelt promise to the families of fallen heroes must translate into tangible support. Words of solace are crucial, but practical assistance is essential. Grieving families face financial and emotional challenges. A comprehensive support system is essential. This involves state-led initiatives and community engagement. The captain's vow implies recognition of this need. tangible support can take many forms. Financial aid for widows and orphans is crucial. Educational support for children is vital. Access to healthcare and mental health services is paramount. Psychological wounds require specialized care. These measures show genuine commitment. Vocational training empowers widows. It restores purpose and agency. Memorials and scholarships provide ongoing recognition. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's heartfelt promise to the families of Burkina Faso's fallen heroes is more than a momentary gesture of compassion. It is a commitment that has the potential to shape a lasting legacy, both for his leadership and for the nation itself. In a country scarred by conflict and loss, such vows of remembrance and support resonate deeply. They speak to a fundamental human need for recognition, solace, and the assurance that sacrifice is not meaningless. The enduring power of this promise will lie in its consistent and faithful execution over time. The legacy of these words will be woven into the fabric of Burkina Faso's national identity. By prioritizing the welfare and honor of those who have lost loved ones in service to the country, Captain Traoré is fostering a culture of profound respect for the armed forces and their families. This can have far-reaching implications, strengthening the bond between the military and the civilian population. It can also inspire a greater sense of national unity and collective responsibility, crucial elements for navigating the challenges that lie ahead. This is a legacy of compassion. Moreover, this commitment sets a standard for future leaders. It establishes an expectation that the nation will always care for the families of its defenders. This principle, once firmly embedded, can transcend political changes and become an enduring feature of Burkinabe society. The true measure of this promise will be seen in the lives of the widows who feel supported, the orphans who receive an education, and the parents who know their child's sacrifice is perpetually honored. This is a legacy written in human dignity. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's heartfelt promise to the families of Burkina Faso's fallen heroes is more than a momentary gesture of compassion. It is a commitment that has the potential to shape a lasting legacy, both for his leadership and for the nation itself. In a country scarred by conflict and loss, such vows of remembrance and support resonate deeply. They speak to a fundamental human need for recognition, solace, and the assurance that sacrifice is not meaningless. The enduring power of this promise will lie in its consistent and faithful execution over time. The legacy of these words will be woven into the fabric of Burkina Faso's national identity. By prioritizing the welfare and honor of those who have lost loved ones in service to the country, Captain Traoré is fostering a culture of profound respect for the armed forces and their families. This can have far-reaching implications, strengthening the bond between the military and the civilian population. It can also inspire a greater sense of national unity and collective responsibility, crucial elements for navigating the challenges that lie ahead. This is a legacy of compassion.